He hasn't been home for 2 years, 730 days, marches, battles, sieges, mud, blood, and finally, a vacation. He walks to his house, his heart pounding, a gift from the campaign in his hand. He opens the door, he sees his wife, and then he looks at the child running toward him. The child smiles, raises his arms. The soldier calculates in his head. 2 years. The child, 1.5. How did a Roman soldier find out his wife had cheated? Mathematics. Cold, merciless mathematics. But that's only the beginning, because the Roman world knew 3 more ways that would make your hair stand on end. How? The Roman army was a machine of discipline. But at home, while the soldier was fighting, a completely different war began. A war for loyalty, for inheritance, for honor. And the Romans, pragmatic, cruel, heartless, turned treason into a mathematical problem. With formulas, with proofs, with sentences. Today you'll learn how a Roman legionary knew from thousands of kilometers away that his wife was unfaithful, and what he did when he found out. First, the calendar. The Romans kept precise records of time, not like us, but by consuls, by tribes, by the founding day of a city, ab urbi condita. Every soldier knew when he was leaving. Every soldier knew when his wife was due. If a child was born prematurely, a month, 2, that was the first warning sign, but not proof. Illnesses happen, stress happens. So the Romans invented a second system. Witnesses, neighbors, slaves, relatives. There was no privacy in a Roman home. Servants saw everything, neighbors heard everything, and they talked, for money, out of the kindness of their hearts, or when they were tortured in court, because adultery in Rome wasn't just a sin, it was a criminal offense. Adulterium. You could lose your dowry for it, or your freedom, or your life. The soldier returned. The neighbor already knows. She whispers in his ear, the name, the date, the number of times. The third method, letters. Roman soldiers wrote home on wax tablets, and they received replies. If the replies came from someone other than their wife, it was strange. If the wife wrote too affectionately, it was suspicious. If the wife didn't write at all, doubly suspicious. Soldiers compared handwriting, style, mistakes. Some kept old letters as evidence, but the most terrifying method was the fourth, fingerprints. Yes, you heard right. The Romans used lead seals on their bedroom doors. When a soldier left, he sealed the bedroom door with a lead seal bearing his personal symbol. If he returned and the seal was broken, someone had entered the bedroom. Who? And if the seal was intact, but the inside smelled of another man's perfume, that was also an answer. The women of Rome knew about these methods, and sometimes they were smarter than their husbands. They carefully removed the seals and installed new ones, of the same lead. They bribed slaves to keep quiet. They forged letters. They altered children's birth dates. But Rome, too, was not standing still. And now, the human factor. Imagine yourself as a soldier. You're going home after 2 years of hell. You dreamed of your wife's embrace. You imagined holding your son in your lap. And now, a neighbor whispers a name. Your face turns to stone. You slam your fist against the wall. Blood. Then you go to look at the child. Does the child look like you? No. He looks like him, like the one whose name was whispered to you. You must make a decision. What to do? If you're a private soldier, you go to the centurion. You ask for time off to sort things out. The centurion looks at you. He doesn't care about your wife. He needs soldiers. He gives you 3 days. 3 days to decide the family's fate. If you're an officer, you go to the judge. You file a complaint. The trial lasts a week. They hear witnesses. They look at the seals, the letters, the child. If the wife is found guilty, she loses her dowry. She's sent back to her father. Shame for life. The lover can be punished, banished, killed. But there's another way, the most Roman, the cruelest. You do nothing. You smile. You kiss your wife. You play with the child. And a month later, you call her for a talk. Calm, cold. You say, I know. You have 2 days to leave. The child is mine. And she leaves, without money, without a home, without a son, because in Rome, children belong to the father, even if he's not the biological father. The stakes, if you ignore the betrayal, you'll be a laughingstock. Your comrades will find out. They'll laugh at you. You'll lose respect. In the army, that's worse than death. If you kill your wife, you'll be executed. Rome doesn't allow killing without a trial, even for adultery. If you divorce, you lose your dowry. You lose everything you invested in the marriage. Sometimes it was more profitable to remain silent and go back to the legion. Far from home, far from shame. Compare this with other cultures. In Greece, a wife's infidelity wasn't considered a crime against her husband. It was against her father. Barbarians killed wives on the spot, without trial or investigation. The Romans tried. Long, boring, fair, in their own way. But there was one detail they don't write about in the textbooks. Sometimes soldiers returned and didn't recognize their wives. Not because they had changed, because the soldiers themselves had changed. 2 years of murder, marches, mud, death. They couldn't return to normal life. They sought treason, even when it didn't exist. They blamed their wives because they themselves were broken, and the courts acquitted innocent women. Too late, the marriage was already ruined. The Roman soldier returned to the legion and stayed there forever. The army became his wife, cold, cruel, faithful. So, the answer to the riddle: how did a Roman soldier find out his wife had cheated? He counted the days until the baby was born. He asked neighbors. He compared handwriting on letters. He checked lead seals on doors. And sometimes, he just felt it, because 2 years of separation changes both, and not always for the better. And now the question I promised you. You're leaving on a business trip for a week, and you're already worried. Now imagine, 2 years, no phone, no letters for 3 months, only rumors, only suspicions. Could you trust? Write in the comments. How many months would you go without contact before you started to suspect? And subscribe, because in the next video, I'll tell you how the Romans proved paternity. Spoiler, there were oaths, gods, and one very strange method involving oil. Don't miss it.